Welcome, Sagittarius. It's definitely the right time. It's 3:52, which is the 3 of the Empress. And it's also the 3 is the eagle soaring horizontally. And the 52 is the Queen of Swords, which is also Lady Liberty, Athena energy coming up, which was very much coming up for you. So very interesting. I have a lot to bring you, probably more than anyone I've done so far. And you're the last sign. I started with Capricorn. And this is just like a beginning of the year, extra long reads. So I've been bringing to you all of your pre-read reads. And then we'll pull up the cards and do a fresh read for you today. And I was definitely getting boredom for you guys today. That was for sure, because Teddy has his moon in Sagittarius, and he was a nudge all day long after I pulled the boredom card. So I want to get right into it because there is so much information here. Really cool information, Sagittarius, so stay tuned if you can. And if you can't watch the whole thing now, just watch some of it later. So I was doing my meditation for you guys just a little while ago, and it was so cute the way it came up. So Sexy Sadie has been coming up this week, kind of like that lounging and kind of flirty kind of energy. And also then Betty Boop came up this week with another sign. But you were coming up as literally my daughter, when she was 2 years old, she was flirting with someone, and she was literally just walking around the living room table and kind of like dragging her finger along the edge. And she was 2. She was so cute. But that kind of energy, really innocent though, right? Like a little girl, where Betty Boop meets Curious George as Jersey Girl meets York. The Alpha and Omega was coming up. And again, this is Jersey Girl meets York versus Harry, like Charlotte in Sex and the City. And then Sagittarius A was coming up as the Alpha and Omega, Sagittarius A. And then the tail of the Pleiades, which is number 24. 24 is also Omega and represents enlightenment. So there is a dragon in the constellation of Taurus that faces Orion. So it's like Orion facing his dragon self. And we have the Orion facing his inner dragon, and then the twins stand on Orion's shoulder, and there's entry through the twins on his shoulders. And this is from a website that came up a couple times in the past, 7 years probably, but I can't remember the name of the site. But they literally showed the constellation with the Taurus dragon facing Orion, and literally the tail of the dragon is the Pleiades. So there's an entry, you can choose to entry in this website scenario through the twins or through the dragon's breath next to it. Kind of like that false entry, where the tail ends in the Pleiades, which can reference the Galactic Federation of Worlds too, having taken reptilians off planet. But then with Orion, the snake Hydra is behind Orion. Orion's not paying attention to them. But the snake Hydra is waiting behind him, protecting the Virgin or Virgo and shedding their skin, perpetually regenerating. And this was at 323, which is the Empress and the King of Wands. So there was a very significant story being told there. All right, so, and there's a lot of crossover with certain words. And Liberty, Liberty, Liberty was coming up yesterday. I drove to my great nephew's birthday party, and I saw the word liberty at least 3 or 4 times. There's some other information that will come up here too. And also Elizabeth Clare Prophet has been coming up in the past couple of weeks. So her videos just ended up coming up on my queue. So I watched some of her videos. It was very interesting, actually. And there's just a crossover to QE2, because Elizabeth Clare Prophet, her maiden name is Wolf, W-U-L-F. And she was born 4/8/39, and Queen Elizabeth was born 4/21/26. Queen Elizabeth's life lesson number is 43/7, and Elizabeth Clare Prophet's life lesson is 34/7. Very interesting, right? The inversion of each other. Elizabeth was born in Red Bank, New Jersey, so that's funny about the Jersey versus York boy. And she actually basically moved with Mark right before my birthday in 61, which is really interesting because they met in April and through August. Then after she graduated from college in August, he came back to Boston to help her move to Washington to help to train with him. And then they end up getting married in 63. So that was coming up. So stuff about her will come up. The Bible's been coming up. And let's go back to the beginning. And in the beginning, so I just highlighted from a couple of the reads I was doing for Sagittarius in preparation for the energies for you guys. And on the first time I did a read for you guys on the 15th, the helicopter was hovering over my house constantly. Like they were there at 7:41 was the first time I wrote it down, then 7:45, then 7:49, then 7:52, like this helicopter constantly. And I wrote it down again last night or today, I can't remember which. But that was the first time I started recording some of the energy. And that one for the code line, I just wrote a site southeast for bridge left. And for me, well, New York is east of me, but it's probably a little bit north. I don't know exactly. I have to look at the line. But a site southeast for bridge left. Sagittarius ace is the 7 of cups, which is synchronicities, but having choices, right? Making decisions. Sine waves and alternating currents coming up for you. And then the 10 of swords, bliss, right? Which is the ending of the pain. When the swords drop out, that's where the bliss comes in. So... Oh, and I forgot this too. When I was doing, I don't know if it was Scorpio or Libra, but when I opened a gift from the stars from Elena Danon's book about ETs, I opened to New Mexico and Dulce, which is, she lists as the central base of the CCAR command. Now, this is old information because since then she's been reporting that all the reptilians have been taken off planet. But it was coming up for whatever reason, because I opened up the page right looking at the smack middle of that page where it said New Mexico and Dulce. So she lists 4 different cabal bases. One was off the Bermuda Triangle, one off Denmark, and one New Zealand. And then the one in New Mexico being the main one, which, had a huge complex underground. But it also listed the Dohu as the workers, the Zeta Reticuli. And they came up the next day on their own in her book when I opened it. So it's very significant for whatever reason. Hybrid grays were coming up as well, perhaps coming in from Mexico as well, as in New Mexico. And now we have New Jersey and New York today. So new was very significant. Yeah, and that day, Gilgamesh and Enki's story came up online because I looked up the tablet 11 because tablet 15 came up. And it came up from Mexico, right? Mexico is me and then X1, which is 11, and then CO. And the tablets had come up, 15 and 16, and I was being guided to look up tablet 11, X1. And that was Gilgamesh and the story of the flood. And that was, I looked up from ancienttext.org, not for any particular reason. And one of the quotes there was from the Bible that the snake was referred to as the lion of the ground. Right? So if they refer to a lion, they may be talking about the snake. And again, next year we go into the snake and it references Hydra. The conversation about the epic of Gilgamesh was a conversation of Gilgamesh and Enki about how to make the ark because Enki wasn't allowed to stay on planet anymore because of Enlil. And he's telling him, we need to make this ark, but in order to get the workers here, to make them understand what's actually happening, this is what you're going to have to tell the people. So, he gets the people down. I'm not going to read you the whole thing, right, because it's very lengthy. But they make the boat. The Anunnaki lifted up the torches, setting the land ablaze with their flare. Stunned and shocked over Adad's deeds, overtook the heavens and turned to blackness all that had been light. Gods, frightened by the flood, retreated, ascending to the heaven of Anu, which is Enki's father, and then Gowring and Ishtar Oh, cowering, they all were scared because it was, the flood coming in. Ishtar shrieked like a woman in childbirth. And again, and the quote was, the olden days have returned to clay. And it was funny too, because the name clay then came up. Have given birth to, and she was so upset because she's given birth to my dear people just to have us destroy them. 6 days and 7 nights of wind and flood, flattening the land. The 7th day after this chaos, the sea calmed after the labor, like the pregnancy and delivering a child. It becomes quiet and all humans turn to clay, mindful of these days to never forget. The God and Spirit's connecting with me, major connection right now. Gods may come to the incense offering, but Enlil was not allowed to come, bringing my people to annihilation. So Enlil arrived and became furious, and the Agigi, or Agigi, I'm not sure how it's pronounced, gods, Ninurta said, who else but Ea could devise such a thing? So anyway, the story ends with how to, after they make the ark and get all the people and the animals and gold and silver and food on board, whatever, they wanted to know, how do we repay Gilgamesh for doing all this? So they give them a gift that was very difficult for him to get, and then he loses the gift on his way home because a snake steals it while he's sleeping. So he never actually gets his blessing. And that was, he had to touch a boxthorn plant, which would then give him his youth. So again, I'm going to keep going here because there's a lot about Sagittarius. Remember, Sagittarius is about religion and knowledge and kind of being that nomad walking the earth. Sagittarius is I was getting the energy of Sagittarius around, right, the one who will say something and definitely embarrass you because they'll just say the truth. They'll just blurt it out. And I was getting the difference between Aries and Sagittarius, where Aries more just in your face, kind of space invader, right? Because they're physically invading your space. Sagittarius would do that in a more emotionally based way, right? Just say a truth that might be embarrassing to you. So for whatever reason that came up. And in listening to Elizabeth Prophet, she also referenced in the Bible that twin flames are called cloven tongues. And that was interesting too, because I can make my tongue into 3 waves, which is kind of funny. I never even think of that. But some of the other stuff that came up in my reads from Sagittarius, the key of T, and the T splitting into a 7, and then the reflection of the 7. In a sudden event, Han, so Han comes up as, of course, Chinese Han, but also Han Solo, and then Han also means the Happiness Hotel, basically, a roadside shelter. And that's where Jesus supposedly actually died, in St. Salvatore in the south of France. But Han after death, okay, because that could be referencing Jesus, and then 91, of course, which is the reflection of 19, which is the sun. So I always reference 91 as the central sun. And then the Hermit 1 and the Ace of Christ consciousness, so that the King of Pentacles, or Master of Crystals, which is Christ-like, and the Divine Justice amidst greased lightning of 5 and 8, which is freedom and power of the Starseed, and this May to August leap to freedom and power, and then 13 of transformation, and that Fool's leap, of an open heart and leap of faith. And also the Chi of the Happiness Hotel after death. One and all, of course, of the King of Pentacles, Master of Crystals, and the Master of the Hidden House, which is the Master in Alchemy, with Divine Justice dancing with an open heart and a leap in their step. Okay. So the next part for you guys. All right, so when I was driving yesterday, I was behind plates. On the way up there, I was behind a plate Eve. No, that was the day before. Either Eve or Evie came up on the license plate in front of me, but 117 came up. And yesterday it was definitely Eva 0117, and I couldn't remember the plate next to it, but that was relevant too. And then literally all the streets that I noticed as I was coming home, in the order I noticed them, because I remember I told you I saw Liberty at least 3 times, was Liberty, Eagle, Spring, Union. So then we go on to here. All right. So last night I did do a spread for you guys. And one of the messages from the code line was Adonai, which means my Lord. My Lord's heart hangs with the masses in a flash of light. Source infinitely references the 5 of Pentacles, which is the lovers out in the cold, the chariot of broken hearts and forgiveness needed, a 6 of Chi or the 6 of Cups energy, which came up this morning when I pulled the cards as the underlying energy as well, upright, really beautiful, pure, innocent, love of the child energy, and the horsepower of the child, the strength of pure, innocent love. All right, and this is coming up around you, and you come up as Curious George, but also Sexy Sadie. So again, that reference of the feminine and the masculine differences here. And then a new show came up on the prompt on Netflix last night, which was called Lose. And I did a whole thing on Lose last year because my neighbor's name is Luz. And Luz is that unbreakable bone in the body, that spiritual reference, which there's controversy whether it's Atlas or the tailbone. But I'm sure there's lots of opinions on that. But you can look that up if you'd like to. But that's coming up, so that's significant. And I'll have to look up the information that I wrote about Luz because a lot came up for that. Okay, so then I got to last night, I was watching Twin Astrology for a little bit, and then she had said sin, and so then I went off on a sideline here about sin, and then of course for me that's very related to Sagittarius as well. And here comes up the 34 again. So remember the 34-43 reflection of Elizabeth and Elizabeth, and I'm in a 34 year. And the full moon on 2/24/24 is also a 34 day. So it keeps coming up, and it's been coming up a lot this year. But it came up here with sin. And remember, sin is that it's not just what you think of as sin. There's a lot of definitions of SIN, including sign. SINE is one of the definitions for sin. So when I wrote down sin, I looked at the time, and it was 9/18, which is my birthday. So then they were guiding me to look up stuff about 9/18 and my birthday. So the full moon, is, by the way, is at 7:28 a.m. on the 24th. And remember, 22 is the conjunction of Venus and Mars, which are in Aquarius together through March 11th. So they're not conjunct anymore, I guess, at that point, but they're still in Aquarius with Pluto. So this SIN for sin, and for me, the capital N is code for Christ. So it's literally the Sophia and the Christ energy with the I in the middle, which lowercase I for me is the chakra system, and a capital I, of course, is the I am. So there's this energy of the Sophia and Christ with the I am, or the chakra system of the human, the mini me I am in between, sin. And then, of course, you go from sin to CIS and cosine and I, all relating to this. And CIS is the double bond in which the greater radical on both ends is on the same side of the bond, or adjacent, here on this side, the same side, being on the same side. It also means C sharp and pleated or braided. Wicker baskets came up there, and handicap, and kind of normal, like not trans, but the usual way, on the same side. So sign SINE also is coming up, and it means curve, bend, the bosom, the cord, the bowstring, life, to bind, oldness, existence, cinema. So not only is CINE cinema, but sign is also defined as cinema. Movie, the blueprint of self, yes, and nipple also came up. So the right angle, of course, comes up in the definition of sign, and it kind of references the one sine wave and then the 2 sine waves going together. I want to say undulating together. And again, that's the Kundalini reference. And the chakra system between the Christ and the Sophia, and the C being the whispering bench. And remember, the straight line isn't straight. It's 2 dots with an arc between it. So the whispering bench is the C, which is the same thing as the 1, the line. and the pairing of the C's, parentheses, and antithesis, the anti the C's, reference two C's facing each other, the whispering benches, and then the two C's come together and make the S. So the C is just the whispering bench, but the S is both, and it references the feminine, which then she birthed the child. So, and then the chakra system that they share between them, the Christ and the Sophia. So again, the I of the I am, and then the little I is mini-me, just short of I am. The one equals the two parentheses splitting, right, going from the one to duality, and then also referencing the one that splits into the V and then becomes the horizontal from the vertical pillar. So 111 is the aligned version here, and then 1111 I was getting is the grounded version made manifest. So literally grounding union into this reality. So sin is also balancing, activating, and awakening to Christ consciousness. One of the other definitions of sin is two, and then being a cord, which is a bridge. So it has to do with the bridging of duality. And the E temple here, which is the E means temple, but E is also one equal and congruent to the other. So then I looked up in Gematria my birthday, 9/18. And I'm sure I've looked it up before, but I didn't remember it being anything significant. But then as soon as I'm looking at all this bridging stuff, which has been coming up a lot in the past few months, the first entry was bridge currency, and then 53, and then God bless you, and so on. So I looked up a whole bunch of the lists because they were all coming up like a message to bring you guys. So, and that was the case. Some of the other definitions of sin, just to get your mind off of doing something bad. A sin means number 2, truth, spirit, direction, feeling, heaven, the 8th of 10 heavenly stems, sense, to be, cord, to give a girl away in marriage, to string or piece things together. So again, that's bridging. And symbol, son of or son. So there's all these positive energies related to SIN. All right, so the message that came up for you, and literally in order of the way I wrote down the entries from Gematria, and I didn't write down every one, just the ones that were significant to me. And this is the way it read. And again, this is 918, which first came up as 91, which is the reflection of 19, which for me is the central sun, and then 18, which is the moon. So here the sun and the moon basically were coming up, and look, and I wrote this yesterday, and this is the card from today. So we have the sun and the moon again. The sage 918 is coming up as sage 1 infinite, the hermit magician infinite, the bridge of the violins, the halo of violins around the head, to what did I write that down? To wake ID. What word was that? I can't think of what that word was, and I didn't write it down right here. Something ID. The first part meant to wake, and then id. So anyway, the energy of to waken the id, the ego, was coming up here. The bridge of the halo of violins, to wake the id. My great test, the angel of the Church of Philadelphia, acting as an agent for a higher order. Da Vinci codes, which comes up as the Father's vehicle, ID number, C, chakra system, to ignite and devour, spars, next pandemic, shelves Bible verse, the Planet X tracker God, heavenly and hell, that is a sign, harmonization of the solstice. The C, soul's path, the soul's path of the inner child temple, the creator God of peace died, it just says here at 918, God's voice excellently, he who causes to be bistellar alien monkey shroom, right? Which doesn't make any sense, but it does make sense. The name, they had written, the entry was, instead of David, it was in Gematria as DAWID, which Da means to dawn. So to dawn the id, or ID, whether you're dealing with the capital I or the lowercase I. And that was the 14th entry, which is the temperance card, Sagittarius. So that was significant. So not saying David, but David, which a baby might say, right? So the inner child. Some of the other entries that came up in other languages was igniaros consumpto, which means to ignite and devour, consumed, spent. Das first in Zeichen, which means that is a sign in German, and then the solstice was written in another language as well. So the summer solstice should be very significant here. And also H-A-W-A-H, which is another way of writing Yahweh. Also what it means, what it actually translates to in this initiating language is he who causes to be. And it's in Swahili. So that was very interesting. So the alien monkey shroom was coming up as the ally of JC, which the letters JC, literally when you put them together, is the toroidal field with direction. Or the N, which is the Christed energy, right? Rising up into your higher self. The monkey of the MO of the N, the Christ consciousness being key here. And the MO of Monday, right? Of the monkey. MON is Monday, which is the key monk E, the temple of the monk. The Sophia human room, or the room, the library, the whispering bench. And again, Monday is coming up as the dawning, right? It's the first day. So I was guided to my birthday to look. I just had this, a free Bible that was left on my doorstep. And I just use it to open up to messages now and then. And so I was being guided to look up the first thing I saw that referenced 9:18 when I flipped open this Bible. And the first thing I came to that with 9:18 was Revelations on page 411. By these three was the third part of men, killed by the fire and by the smoke and by the brimstone which issued out of their mouths. And there's that fire-breathing dragon as we just went into the year of the dragon. And this chapter references the fifth angel and their trumpet. And locust was coming up, and that comes up again. The torment of man without the seals for 5 months. And then they go into detail describing how, like a scorpion would be, will seek death and not find it. The locust shaped like horses unto battle with crowns like gold, and the man's face, the hair of the woman, again, this referencing locust, the teeth of the lions and the snake, and again, referencing lion as a snake, not necessarily a lion, the breastplate as iron, and the sound of the wings as the chariots of many horses running into battle, tails like scorpions, and the king over them, angel Apollyon. One woe is past, behold, and then come 2 woes, and more hereafter. And then the 6th angel sounded. I heard a voice from the 4 horns of the golden altar, which is before God. To the 6th angel with trumpet, loose the 4 angels which are bound in the great river Euphrates, were prepared for 1 hour, 1 day, 1 month, 1 year. All right. So I've been talking about 11:11 like that. I've never read this. I haven't read most of the Bible, and I've never read this section of the Bible. So when I got that 1111 of 1 year, 1 month, 1 day, 1 hour, I had no idea it was stated literally in the Bible. All right. So that was significant. And I wrote this down right at 9:15, which is the date of my last great nephew was born on 9:15. And again, this is Revelations. So the angels were prepared for 1 hour, 1 day, 1 month, 1 year, for to slay the third part of men. The number of the army of horsemen were 200,000. I heard the number of them, and then I saw the horses in the vision, and them that sat on them, having breastplates of fire, and jacinth, I don't know if it's hyacinth or jacinth with a J, and brimstone, and the heads of horses were as heads of lions, and out of their mouths issued fire and smoke and brimstone. So there's that reference to the dragon year as well. So something else that came up about what's going on right now, where was that? Oh, the helicopter came over again last night at 10:50. I wrote that down. And then I'm past 9:18 in Revelations into 12, where appeared a great wonder in the heavens, a woman clothed with the sun and the moon. So there's the reference to the sun and the moon, again, a third separate reference, under her feet and upon her head, a crown of 12 stars. So how many times have we talked about a halo here? The violins, now there's 12 stars. And she being a child, with child and birthing here, so going through the birthing cycle, not having born yet. Also a great red dragon with 7 heads, which represent the mountains, and 10 horns, which represent the kings, and 7 crowns upon their heads. And his tail drew the third part of the stars of heaven and cast them onto earth. Very interesting, because I just told you his tail, the tail of the dragon, is the Pleiades, which can reference the Galactic Federation of Worlds having taken them off planet. So she, and this is the Bible, okay? So she brought forth a man-child to rule all nations from God's throne. She fled to the wilderness 1260 days. Michael and the angels fought the dragon, and we're in the dragon year, calling the dragon devil cast out. And then she flees after birthing the child with 2 wings of the great eagle now. And then she's protected in the woods. From chapters 13 to 18 is marked with the right hand. Oh, this was significant. Chapters 13 to 18 of Revelations is the mark in the right hand or forehead, where you can no longer buy or sell without the number of this. And 666, which adds up to 18, is thy name. All right, so here's literally the information of the powers that be wanting to chip everyone, right? So they can control everyone, and right, which is why we don't want to give up paper money, because then everything goes electronic, and then they want to chip you so that they could literally affect you any which way they want if they chip you, because they have satellites and they could kill you with that. So it's this energy of slavery again that we're breaking free from, that comes up here in relation to what we're actually experiencing now. And one of the first visions I had in my awakening years ago, I don't know if it was, I saw the vision in 16 or 17, somewhere around there, but it was literally the angels at the feet of the Statue of Liberty, and above the Statue of Liberty is an etheric altar from Atlantis. And here it was coming up again as the 144,000 at the Statue of Liberty to meet the Pleiadians at the altar. So the 144,000 came up in chapter 14 here of Mount Zion, and with him the 144,000 having his father's name written on their foreheads. And voices of thunder and many waters and harpers as a new song before the throne, where nobody else could sing the song but the 144,000. So, and I don't want to go into all of this, but then like frogs came up too, and the leap frogs and the constellations has been coming up. And this was 1613. I saw 3 unclean spirits, which, remember, the dirty woman here is actually a reference to a city, not a woman, right? They're calling a whore the city, the dirty city. 3 unclean spirits like frogs, and I reference a lot the frog becoming the prince, which is the first card out in your read, coming out of the mouth of the beast and out of the mouth of the false prophet, devils working miracles, and again the fall of Babylon, and great hailstorms coming in. And the Fool card in this deck, the SIRIAN Starseed deck, literally has a huge orb or hail coming in to knock them on the head and open their crown. And then the last thing that came up from the Bible here is page 420, which is actually the time my son was born and the room number he was in Revelation 17, which yesterday was the 17th, and the star energy, where the woman in purple, and the judgment of the great whore that sitteth upon many waters, with whom the king of earth have fornicated with, and inhabitants of the earth made drunk with the wine of her fornication. And it goes on about that. So, so the woman references the great city, which reigneth over the kings, the 7 kings or 10 kings, whichever it was, of the earth, right? So the one city that's in power around the world. And then 1 hour, the city made desolate. And I found there was a piece of paper torn in one of the pages of this little Bible. So, and it was in page 420. And so I wanted to write down what was on each side of this little torn paper. I have no idea where it got torn for, because I didn't tear it out and put it back in the Bible. It was just there. And side 1 of the torn piece of paper was each mon, M-O-N, cation, C-A-T-I-O-N, T-H, he, owner. So literally, and then the side two, the other side said RT, or root, path, on this APPL and TI. So the way it comes up is, and remember, cation is a positively charged ion, but it also means to go down or come down, to go or come. Each, I wonder, a pattern, a magic spell, a remembrance, blueprint, positively charged connection, to go and come infinitely. He is the owner. The root on this APPL, which you can reference as apple, but it means appeal. The root of this appeal and source, the path of the apple and the source of it. Each is the owner, the wanderer, the infinite. Each is the infinite owner of their own positively charged blueprint and remembrance. The root on this appeal and source, perhaps having tea and having an apple together. The apple represents the toroidal field, which I just talked about, JC, literally being the toroidal field in motion with direction, and the T of the top dog, Ea, so T, Ea's T, the top dog in Ea, which is the father of the humans basically, and the moral man with connections. So then from BibleStudyTools.com, Holy Monday came up, which of course then, Monday's the first day. And it was also coming up here as the day Jesus returned his disciples to Jerusalem. He cursed a fig tree that day that had failed to bear fruit. And when arrived at the temple, the courts are full of corrupt money chargers, where he then, overturns all the tables and has that rage. And if you've watched, Jesus Christ Superstar or something else, you know what I'm talking about. Right? My temple should be a house of prayer and has been made into a den of thieves. Get out, get out. So Monday evening, he stayed in Bethany again, likely in the home of his friends Mary, Martha, and Lazarus. So Monday is day one, the dawn. Now what came up here? As Isaiah 40:31 came up. But they who want for the Lord shall renew their strength. Now, and up with wings like eagles. So here's the quote of having wings like eagles. They shall run and not be weary, walk and not faint. All right, so those who are birthing, the Monday is the first day of the world, kind of like a reference to Aries, in the beginning, or those born on Monday. And then the four angels came up, prepared for the 1 year, 1 month, 1 day, 1 hour, the 11:11. And I had brought this up in one of my other messages. They were showing me 3 different situations this year that would come up, and the dates that they would come up, and they all come up in the same pattern, but not on the same day of the month. And they were showing me the pattern by showing me Sagittarius, because I've always been shown that God's birthday was December 7th and then December 13th, which made sense then because it was a week, it was 7 days. But then they were expanding that for me, that's actually a fortnight, right? The experience, and then a week to ground and integrate the experience, and then the 4 nights. So literally the fortnight and the 4 nights is the 144 plus 7 days, which then lands you on the New Year's Day, right? After the 7th day is New Year's. So there's four patternings this way. The first one starts the way I just told you. The second one starts with the Ides of March 3:15 and ends on 4/9 as the first day, like January 1st. The next January 1st was 7/18, and then the other I think was 10/28. So, and of course 10/28 prefaces the election, 7/18 prefaces the Olympics. And the question is, what prefaces 4/9? And Ramadan is right before 4/9 which the celebration lands on 4/9. And also I've brought up that is the 739,000th day AD, which the 1,000 only comes up every almost 3 years. So it's not something that's common. But I kept getting that was a very significant day. And then here the locust is coming up. So I don't know how that references that. But the 11 months, I'm not sure whether they're referencing 777, which was Valentine's Day, July 7th last year, to this year 888, which is 24, which again is referencing Omega and the Pleiadians. But it's also Lionsgate in the most significant way because it's 888. So is the 1 year, 1 month, 1 hour or 1 day, 1 hour, 777 to 888, or is it 888 to 999 next year, going into 9/9/2025, which actually adds up to 27, the Ace of Wands, right? That third flame. So I first started seeing the 1111 reference back from 444 to 555 because of the last Olympics, which was then canceled. So it didn't play out. But I knew that 11 months had to do with the Olympics, which is why I think it's 777 to 888, not the last 2 cycle. And actually 999 is the wrapping up of things, no movement forward in 999, right? So 888 is the power. And we're in the leap year now. So 777 to 888 would reference the leap year in between. So the 144,000, Liberty, leapfrogs, all of that stuff keeps coming up. Those 3 different main things that are happening this year can reference the leapfrog. And then we go on to today. I told you it was a lot. Okay. And we haven't even picked up the cards yet. So, all right. So the cards on the table. We have the SIRIAN Starseed deck. I just pulled them randomly for Sagittarius, coming out here, these guys, and then these guys, and then I clarified them. And these are just coming out as the underlying energies, coming from the 5 of Cups up there, which you can't see. And I'll go over those in a second. Okay, so today is the 18th, and again, there's the 18 coming up again, of February. And it is Sun Day. So for Sagittarius, the underlying energy here is the 4 of Cups, which is boredom. But it's also, boredom is time to ground and integrate what you've experienced. Also learning how to receive love. After the 5 of Cups, grieving energy and the underlying energies there and getting over it, destined to leave the 2 of Cups, which is could be a love relationship or a partnership. The Knight of Pentacles proposing a wish, 6 rays of light, or Thai service for 9 perhaps. Floating on air, comfortably numb. After the new moon or at night, spotting a star. Being an island to self with Lady Liberty and 3 cups. To Ellis, only 1. Grounding and integrating how to even the islands. That underneath the 2 rocks, they are actually 1. You just can't see it because the water's there. And then Lucy in the Sky with Diamonds was coming up as the Lucy being the L you see at the Y in the road, which is 0 point field, with Curious, Sagittarius, George. So Lucy's to Liberty and Sagittarius, Curious, George, which is really funny because my grandfather, my uncle, and my cousin, all the same family, George 1, 2, 3, are all 3 Sagittariuses. Where all roads lead home. And so again, this is referencing Saggy A. So New Jersey to New York was coming up. And here we have New Mexico, New Jersey, New York. And Miss New Jersey to Charlotte's Web. The Jersey girl married to York, but Harry was more her man. Remember, Jersey is knitwear, right, for team sports and such, sweaters and pullovers. York means to vomit, stressed out with all that energy of Y versus K. And the Y is that Mercedes symbol of where all roads lead home. And the K references energy, but it's also 1 less than. The 0 point with energy, source of 1 less than, or pitching in cricket. Uh-oh. Broad and locust, there's the locust coming up again. The Flying Nun is the ticket. Sally Fields got her wings. 2 tickets to paradise, as I just described paradise as when I went to the Statue of Liberty with my daughter years ago, around the same time that I was just referencing my download. We went to the Statue of Liberty because we'd never visited before. And as we're driving on the highway into New York, it's still New Jersey, literally a plane was landing with us driving while there was a paradise song on the radio and there were birds flocking. It was like I was just elevated to another realm. It was so cool. But 2 tickets to paradise comes up here, which brings me back to that moment. And Lady Liberty and Ellis Island. The Lady and the Tramp, man's best friend, windows on the world and the gate holders, with the key to the city. C, gratitude. With  disillusioned and bored, loyal, humble servant brings light to heart. and moon romance to the stars, the suns. So the Five of Swords, Frog to Prince, which is that first card coming out there, the Five of Swords. It's a little bit different in this deck. But juggling on a rock, on a roll, the Empress with arms wide open. So then Creed came up, which is really funny too, because my daughter's boyfriend, they've been doing a lot of, singing at the bar, open mic, whatever, and he always sings Creed songs because his voice is like Creed. So I don't know the reference to Creed, so however you take it is the way it's supposed to come to you. But the Empress with arms wide open and Creed hanging out present to flame, or with a right knee block that's actually a gift, perhaps protecting you. Fire, anger to clear here. I don't want to grow up. I'm a Toys R Us kid, waiting for the ship to come in. The Chariot coming in so the Emperor can toss his false right arm, or burning the evidence, or clearing arthritis by removing a device, a robotic hand, arm, or insert for divine justice. And that could be an etheric removal or etheric surgery here. Taurus, Pisces, and Capricorn, Cancer, Aries, and Libra come up. Or Buddha rushes in with all senses on board to wake up the Emperor, or Santa retiring. Perhaps his assembly line, tossing robotics in order to feel his way without the use of 3D eyes, but by truth and balance. The Queen of Swords, Lady Liberty, grounded by reed, with a handle on the truth, Excalibur, or the Excalibur perhaps, fractured mosaic, pixelized, squared, a collage of pictures, Moza state of being broken, fractured, robbed, crushed movement, now all pieces retrieved, but with dim halo that needs to unify and brighten, coherence of all the parts, but make no mistake, there are always spaces between the pieces. Boy with his mother, lady and her lover, puff, or pup perhaps, of rainbow hues and Sagittarius blues, Pinocchio struggling to become a real live boy, and Lady Liberty, who's just a girl in front of a boy asking him to love her, as he works to align crystals to unlock the E-Tower, picking just the right one, at the workplace sharing with the Knight of Swords, the dragon inciting the Aries North Node to surprise Libra in the south. Lover, Libra, or Gemini here, as the Knight of Swords is working to settle out, or pass 5D message, as the tides pulled back, his rock exposed, sitting under a tree, but no longer bored. A release to the universe. And I actually couldn't find the Five of Swords card, so we'll have to see if it pops up when I pull the cards back up again. And then I was getting, I got a brand new pair of roller skates. You got a brand new key. And that came up with Mel Brand for me before as well. The clarifiers I then pulled at 149 with the Hierophant peeking out and peeking came up with an announcement, societal wake-up call. I'm walking away from the Queen of Wands reversed, or Taurus, Aquarius, or fiery one pissed, the underlying energy, perhaps a sister or someone suffering in silence, stressed or not sleeping, worried or bored, as the Queen of Swords reversed is with the Page of Cups, which literally for me, that was Teddy, constantly trying to get me to play with him today or go outside. The wounded warrior on guard, wanting to travel or walk or just movement here and choose a path, a direction, anywhere, just somewhere new. At 155, and 55 keeps coming up too, which is the Ace of Swords or Excalibur, longing for the other to say. And then Whitney Houston comes up, I want to run to you, and leave the overwork. So this is someone wanting someone else to want to run to them and leave all their overwork or what's not working behind them. At 155, the Queen of Cups reversed, given a passionate opportunity and offer, a dream really. From the 10 of Cups reversed, that can be an end of an emotional cycle that was way overdue to be done, or an unhappy family here, or to tunnel through here to the other side. With the 7 of Pentacles reversed, implementing a plan to invest or come out of the E-Tower and dump all responsibilities on the Empress or confess to her, The Empress is rising above the lack of sleep or awakening and numb, coming out, standing her ground, her high position. The Empress alerted to the past, a realization looking back, and rising above the need to defend her position when flame is not there. Boldly moving to the Emperor upright and his injustice, divided, needing clarity, in a split, falling on their facer from grace or foolish behavior, or stabbing a best friend in the back, snake causing fool to fall to their death, but that is metaphorically speaking, like Aries and Libra, north and south nodes, a split in the pairing is not a good idea, and it comes up as a lack of faith. The Queen of Swords reversed without love of the King of Cups reversed, and the King of Wands upright connecting one to one. As the Queen of Swords reversed and the King of Cups reversed may have broken up or just not affectionate with each other, no love lost there, as maybe they're just not affectionate people, as partnered King of Wands upright looks back to make amends or magnetize, perhaps saving for a vacation or sunshine, to expose all about heartache or separation again of the sun and the moon, day and night, night and day, and the Three of Pentacles and Ten of Pentacles both upright next to each other, fixing things at work for the Ten of Pentacles, family, business, or community of abundance or legacy there, or the parent company, or perhaps had to work day and night to pay back a loan, a family or company, or complete a contract before they could leave. Coming full circle, the King of Swords is upright and destined, or Pisces or Divine Feminine and Libra, three kings here, or mediation, as the King of Swords is upright with the King of Cups reversed and the King of Wands upright, perhaps Cancer and Leo, or the King of Cups and King of Wands are between the Queen of Swords reversed and the King of Swords upright. The King of Swords schooling the golden goose. Without love, breakup, something that's not working out here, or prisoners of love, powerless to ascension, or a bold move to the King of Pentacles upright, who's receiving love suddenly from the Queen of Pentacles reversed, who may be unhappy alone. Or that's maybe she's just unhappy with herself. As the Knight of Pentacles is upright and the Knight of Cups reversed, story here, and all this between them. Here's the Knight of Pentacles and the Knight of Cups reversed over there. Ending pain or a painful end of secret passion, depressed, post-war, PTSD, and getting over emotions and recovering practically from injustice, blocks, a heated exchange, petty arguing, and being the patient angel, keeping to oneself with their energy clear, perhaps near the water. Lady Liberty and Ellis, one standing tall and one stout, feeling their way for peace of mind. As the Knight of Cups reversed may be feeling rejected or jealous or moody, as the Six of Cups is upright with fond memories, loving kids, siblings, soulmates, but bored without their other. A long strange trip it's been is coming up, but a long road or trip for the Knight of Pentacles in order to get to the Knight of Cups reversed, as Pisces, Virgo, or sister are reversed here, or an aide or a nurse, helping them with their PTSD or depression and blocks to become the patient angel with peace of mind, keeping your path clear, or them keeping their path clear for them, the other, to arrive at 222. And then 2222 always references room 222, which is the guidance counselor show. And it's all about the twos, which is the duality, but also the mediation, the 22 of the Fool with an open heart and a leap of faith, and then the 222, which is 6 and love and family. Under the radar, conflict with the Page of Swords reversed and the Page of Pentacles reversed and the Knight of Wands reversed. So perhaps some issues with kids, whether they be your children or students or people you're dealing with right now, and being charitable or settling out. At work, sharing as the Knight of Swords, and the Knight of Swords with the Hermit upright here. Here's the Knight of Swords, the Hermit upright. When I was talking about the Knight of Swords missing, I'm talking about the clarifying card. I couldn't find it. Maybe I just couldn't see it. But we have this energy of the Hermit, which is also Virgo, and the Hanging Man reversed, which is Pisces or Capricorn for me. And the energy of performing epiphanies, an advisor or doctor with ideas and doing the daily grind. Looking back at the Emperor upright, detoxing weakness and insecurities, detoxing lack of tools, with Capricorn, Leo, and Gemini all reversed here, And the Page of Wands clinging to bad influences or social distancing, or perhaps they're just tired of being antisocial and excited to visit, move, or plow through any instability here at 228. And today adds up to 28. So there's that 28 of the Two of Wands again. So now we're going to pull everything up and pull your official cards here. So let's see what we have. So stop here if you don't have time to watch the whole thing, and then watch this next part tomorrow if you want to. This should be interesting because I'm getting very strong downloads about Saggy, and I don't get strong downloads necessarily about all the signs. So that may, might be more time for another sign where it's just not as much stuff is going on right now. So let's see here. So again, remember what I said in the beginning, the first energy that was coming through for me is that energy of like sexy Sadie, but in a really innocent way, like a little girl doing that. And then Curious George, so that innocent side of the masculine and the feminine. Okay. And we are going to clarify with the Rider-Waite Mini. We have Messages of Love Oracle card for the end, and we're going to set the tone with the Fortunes Oracle here. So we'll start with that one here. For Sagittarius, again, today is February 18th, 2024. Remember, Venus-Mars conjunct on the 22nd. What was on the 21st? No, I can't remember. The 24th is the moon peaking. We're moving from, today we're moving from Aquarius to Pisces. And remember, the 29th only happens once every 4 years. And there's that leapfrog energy there with the 29th as well. Sagittarius, for the best and highest good of all is concerned. Any guides, masters, angels that'd like to come in for the best and highest good of all is concerned are welcome, as you're already getting major connection for your messages here. All right, Sagittarius. Sagittarius, came right up. Fire. The 10, which is the Wheel of Fortune, and fire. This is an energy of like burning the cross. And 10 is destined. Let go of emotional upheaval and embrace the renewal of the present. And again, there's that regeneration of the snake, right? Shedding its skin over and over again. And then here we have the Fool. And again, there's the man and man's best friend. And again, there's some kind of betrayal. It's like the energy of Jesus and Judas was coming up today as well. And I think I posted on Instagram the song from Jesus Christ Superstar with Judas. So there's definitely that energy coming up, and that was the other day. But check out my Instagram for today, because that definitely related to you as well. I've actually posted a couple messages today. So we have this fire energy. There's one more card that wants to come up, which is the Proposal, or two. There's two more cards. All right. The bottom of the deck is 29, which is like a gift from the stars. 29 is the Three of Wands, which for me is being present or a gift. And then we have the star here, which references Sirius, but not always. But Sirius is a blue star there. And hard times are over. Look forward to an abundance of happiness, enthusiasm, and positivity. So we have these two, like burning the cross, and the best friends that are no longer best friends, but of course forgiven by Jesus in that sense. We have the 27 of the Proposal and the linked rings, which also references Vesica Pisces and the Queen's Gambit for me. And it's also the Ace of Wands. And then we have the 34 again, which is the 34 is the 8 of Wands, which is the energetic exchange, the arrows of love. And here we have a hand fasting in the heart kind of energy. A time of divine understanding, renewal, peace, and hope. You radiate and attract great love. And over here is romantic or business opportunity indicated. So there's definitely some kind of romantic energy here. And it was coming up with that, like that with the little girl too, but it's coming up in a very innocent or childlike way. And what were the numbers again? 27, 34. Well, they're both wands. So a lot of fire, but we have the Hanging Man too. Libra came up with the 10, and then the 12 is Pisces or Capricorn for me. But a lot of fire there too. And blue star fire is what I'm getting right now. And the sapphire keeps coming up this past week for me too, which always comes up as sap fire, right? So your inner essence fire. All right, so this is the SIRIAN Starseed deck for Sagittarius. Sagittarius. Leaning Tower of Pisa. The burn part hasn't broken off yet. And the Leaning Tower of Pisa came up. I was guided to a message online about that it wasn't stable anymore. But then I went back to that a couple weeks later, and it was like that it didn't exist, like that wasn't real. It was really weird. All right, Sagittarius. Sagittarius. It's 4:53 on the clock, which is the Emperor and the Knight of Swords. Remember? Oh, no way. Look at that. Knight of Swords is right on top. I have no idea where it was on the table. So he's definitely there. That's funny. He just popped up out of nowhere. The Knight of Swords. Sagittarius. All right. Best and highest good of all those concerned. And the Knight of Swords. Sagittarius. Sagittarius. Sagittarius for the best and highest good of all those concerned. In this present moment, February into March particularly. But Sagittarius for the best and highest good of all those concerned. There we go. First card for you. The Star. And that's the underlying energy here. Check it out. That's power packed. And I'm getting We Are the World too. I don't know if you're a musician. That could be coming up for you. If you haven't watched We Are the World on Netflix, you can watch that. It's really cool. The energy from that movie reminded me, my father was an interventional radiologist, and we had a dinner for him. He passed away in 2016. But prior to that, we had this really wonderful dinner with some of the, the medical people he had worked with all his life, and even other doctors that he had known from other departments. But I picked the people who were most heart-based. And the energy in that room, me and somebody else, we were talking about that night, that like it was unbelievable, the energy in that room that night. It was such a beautiful love energy. And in the documentary of We Are the World, they talked about that same exact thing between the musicians. So there's that energy coming up for you here. The Star, this energy of Egypt, of course, coming up there, perhaps Madonna, right? Or walking like an Egyptian here, or the rock star, healer. All of those energies come up with the Star. Aquarius, having your dreams coming true. And then the challenge here is the Six of Flames, which is notoriety. This could be fame right here. And now I'm getting that song, Fame, I Want to Live Forever, right? The foundation for you here is the Three of Cups, coming together in joy, socializing, having fun. And again, this really is that energy of people coming together, enjoying themselves, especially with the rock star energy there, right? The person bringing the good news, right? The beautiful lyrics in the song to raise people's spirits, and then getting followers and notoriety or a good reputation here. Victorious here in leading the way, but by example. And there's a lot of healing energy here too, and shining your light, not being afraid to be your authentic self. The recent past, Sagittarius, for you is the Eight of Cups, perhaps walking away from something, right? Something you put a lot of emotion into. You might be type A a little bit here, getting everything in a row perfectly before you could leave. Or are you just taking some time out for yourself to go within? Is he walking in the desert 40 days and 40 nights? Or is he walking away from the ocean? Maybe he's on the beach and leaving them behind. And he really looks like Batman there. So we have this cup energy, this loving energy here, and then crowning for you, Sagittarius, is the Two of Cups. All right, so that's that one-on-one soulmate energy. It could be partnerships, you know, healing together. This could be like a honeymoon too, or starring together. The challenge is being at the center of attention. Perhaps one of the two doesn't like to be at the center of attention, right? Maybe the star likes to be there, but remember the star reverse is depression and arrogance. So what's coming up here for you is the Five of Crystals, which is the hermit here in the cave above the crowd, trying to figure out how to put these puzzle pieces together, the crystals. And that's very much the hermit energy, but the feminine version. So it's like being in the Mary Magdalene cave here. This also represents the lovers out in the cold and those left behind, the injured, the ill, those that don't have a lot. And then you see yourself as the Ace of Pentacles here, the Ace of Crystals. That diamond in the rough, that stone-breaking plant, the saxifrage breaking through, you know, finally birthing something. That diamond that was underground for a million years, you know, finally coming to the surface. That could be something left behind in surgery coming out of somebody's body as well. You know, finally making its way out after a long, long time. This can be some kind of breakthrough for you, but you see yourself as the diamond in the rough, like ready to go, this brand new cycle here. And there could be a lot of joy here. Maybe you were at a small party or celebration here, right, where somebody was the star. And that could just be a birthday party, right? Making a child feel like the star. But it feels like a big breakthrough here. And here's this energy of crystal rock. You know, here's someone finding crystals. Maybe somebody's, you know, in a crystal pit, you know, digging up crystals. But I always get the Mary Magdalene cave here, which I was actually in. And I had a remembrance. I actually posted that today. I don't always post that, but I remember when Mercedes Kirkle was doing her meditation in the cave, I had a flashback to being burned on the cliff and being pushed off, and it's very high up. So it was a very scary feeling. And then there was these people were waiting outside the cave for their turn, and they were doing some kind of birthing ritual, which I didn't know anything about, and they shrieked. And it scared the crap out of me, and it was all part of when I was flashing back to being burned on the cross. It was incredible, weird feeling. You know, it wasn't a good feeling. It was scary, but it kind of incredible at the same time. So what's around you or how others might see you is the Six of Swords, and there's that dolphin energy with the friendly fin there, kind of going out to Metatron's cube over there. So finding peace, perhaps with water at the ocean, or perhaps with dolphins or whale type energy here. But finding peace and making a breakthrough. And then the block being the shadow, you know, and is that the web? Is that a problem for you? And getting attention here, right? This is addictions, codependencies. Perhaps Spider-Man, my great nephew loves Spider-Man, whose birthday it was yesterday. But these are the two coming together and facing their shadow, like I talked about with Orion and the dragon, as we're in the year of the dragon. All right, this is also Capricorn. So we have Aquarius here, Capricorn. But we're done Aquarius and Capricorn, which are the three keys of alchemy. Pisces is the third key. So it could be referencing that as well here. But the challenges for you is notoriety and addictions here, codependencies. You know, wanting to stay in the shadow or liking to be more secretive or having a secret and not wanting it to get out, right? Or just being shy, not wanting your body exposed. And again, I brought up Sagittarius being someone who would embarrass you and just say the truth, you know, as blunt as it might be. And then coming up at the end here is the Ten of Crystals, which is that ultimate heaven on earth, abundance, of the family, business, or community. But there is a lot of crystals in this picture, so someone might be collecting a lot of crystals, or kind of designing a garden around crystals, or preparing a crystal cave type thing, you know, for sessions. There's a redhead here as well, so that could be someone you're dealing with in the family. And they're in the same posture, these two here. I was just getting imposter. This could be the same person. This could be the same person, not necessarily in a negative way. I mean, this could be someone who may be very abundant here, but also is just is a hermit who likes to keep to themselves. Are they keeping to themselves out of fear, or because that's authentic to them? They just like to be with themselves and be alone and do something creative, right? They're doing puzzles, cracking codes like I'm doing now. So let's see here with this Ten of Pentacles, and it looks very beautiful energy, actually. And I'm sure there's Sagittarius somewhere, but I really have no Sagittarius in my chart at all. But we have, my daughter does, and Teddy, our dog, has Sagittarius too. But we have the partnership within the family, whether that's a marriage or some other kind of one-to-one partnership, starring, coming together, perhaps someone feeling left out. Maybe they don't feel left out, but it is the Five of Pentacles, which is, you know, does denote feeling apart from the crowd. Perhaps, but this is typically the lovers out in the cold, and in this card they're missing their other. Perhaps if they had their other, they wouldn't feel left out in the cold at all. They'd have their best friend. But remember, the best friend's betrayal, and Jesus and Judas is coming up for you guys. So there's something regarding that, and I'm getting these two bouncing off of each other, right? The Batman energy and the feminine Virgo over here. So again, remember Sagittarius, you have Aquarius and Capricorn only in your read so far. And, well, I'll pull it. I already pulled it. I wasn't going to pull the next card. But here's that Five of Cups of grieving something, disappointment, regret, whatever it is, hiding in the woods, not wanting to face the Two Cups that's right here. Right? The Three Cups that are gone here that she's upset over. So she's so upset about these Three Cups, she's not seeing these two beautiful cups right in front of her face, or his face, whatever that might be. And oh, interesting. Okay. Very interesting. All right, so the bottom of the deck, let's see now, look at that. And that came up this morning too on the bottom of the deck. The Six of Cups, the innocence of the masculine and feminine. The children, the soulmates, right? Your inner little boy, your inner little girl, and loving each other innocently and wholly. And we have the Queen of Cups right behind them. And the Ace of Cups, look at that, that's beautiful, right? Exuding love, right? As the Queen of Cups in this innocent union, or perhaps a mother with her children here, perhaps siblings. But there's this beautiful energy there, wow. After hiding in the woods here, right? Getting released. So a lot of water right there with mother and child, or children, or just soulmates. Again, this can be the inner children of these two adults. And I just wanted to look a little farther back here. We have the Queen of Wands. All right, so today is the 28th, which is the Two of Wands. And so here was the Ace of Wands, which was yesterday. And so we'll start there. And so we have this Ace of Wands, this new ignition of passion, the flame, the third flame. A lot of fire energy here with the Queen of Wands, which represents 24 and Omega, and the Pleiades as well. And then we have the Sun here, which we have Pegasus on there too. And Pegasus always comes up with Andromeda because they share one star. It's like holding hands. So and Pegasus is very Sagittarius energy, even though this is Leo energy of the Sun. Both of those energies could be coming up here with the Queen of Wands and the Ace of Wands, very fiery. And then the King of Pentacles, which here is also the Akashic Records, And then again, the Eight of Swords of hiding in the woods, not using your vision to find your way out of the woods, but feeling your way. And it's like you're at the creek and you just have to get across the creek to get to the other side, but you can't see it. You might be there, you're ready, you're getting to the other side, but you just can't see it because you're practicing using your feelings to get there. You just aren't aware yet. But it may be right there at your fingertips. Okay. So who else? So I said Leo and Sag come up under here. That's it. A lot of fire and water right there, but you have Earth there too. So the King of Pentacles came up under here, the Queen of Wands, the Queen of Cups, and perhaps kids. But there are no court cards in the main part of the read at all. It's about the Ten of Pentacles family and the Two of Cups over here. And this one's alone. That could represent the King of Pentacles in the underlying energy, but let's see where this goes. The Six of Cups. That pureness, this just jumped right up on me. It's actually next to the Four of, I'm going to shuffle again, but I wanted you to see this first. So the Four of Wands reversed, the instability of the Queen of Swords reversed. You could, this is she's the widow when she's upright. So when she's reversed, she's just destroyed. Or then it turns and she becomes the one who lies, who verbally abuses, or is just constantly in a negative place. But there's some kind of lack of stability, move or visit here. The party's just over. It's not the same. And I'll show you what was coming up here with this, but I want to reshuffle for this. And then here she takes her sword and gives it away, her truth, to her lover, King of Cups, perhaps. Or is this a Gemini, right? That could be. She could be a Gemini. But giving her sword, her truth, her triumph here, coming out of this negative place to her lover, the King of Cups, but he's not paying attention. Oh, look at that. So this is supposed to come up for you. Look at that. I didn't even notice that. So these two we'll look at. All right. So we have the Queen of Wands and the Eight of Pentacles reversed. And she's right here. And this is either overworking, not aligned. This is not, something's not working out here. And so she's looking at what's not working out here. Right? It's supposed to be good, but it's not. So we have this Eight of Cups in the recent past for Sagittarius. Sagittarius. All right. Is this, she might be pissed at this guy because he's working overtime all the time. Or he's a workaholic type of thing. And then this Eight of Cups in the recent past, we have the Ace of Wands with the Seven of Cups reversed. And then these two cards are coming up too with the Ten of Cups upright and the Knight of Wands reversed, which typically comes up saggy, but this can be any fire sign energy. But there's this frustration, no humor in this situation, a lack of arousal, a lack of conception, right? Or being able to conceive of something. Right, falling off the horse, paralyzed by your passions over here, right? Disillusioned after seeing all these beautiful dreams, frustrated of them not coming true, or having to dump them all out to forsake yourself and allow the family to be happy, right? Who don't even care that somebody else is hurt or has fallen or is the player over here, which could be the reason this happens. So, and again, there's this energy of the player walking away to face their fears, their demons, so to speak, to go within. And it's coming up with the Star here. So whether they're a Star or an Aquarius, doesn't have to be an Aquarius though. We have the Three of Cups in the foundation here with the Nine of Pentacles and the Judgment card reversed. So she's the catch, right? It's not necessarily a court card. This just can represent your independence or your idea of the person you want to be or the person you want to be with. you know, which is kind of royal here. 9 is the ultimate, this 9 of Pentacles is the ultimate single, right? She's got everything except perhaps someone to share it with. Or perhaps she does have someone to share it with, but she's very independent. And here's this Judgment card reversed, which is either she's holding back an announcement or perhaps choked in calling someone or saying something. This could be her need to swallow pride or having made a bad call about something, about someone. Let's see. And there's that 8 of Cups reversed about walking away and not having walked away. So it was a bad call to not walk away. Or perhaps because she didn't call or make a call, that somebody else wasn't able to walk away. And now the party's just over. But this could be someone's stuck, they can't go because there's a move or visit or the home is unstable. And that could be financial related. And here we have the Queen of Swords again. So she comes up again with her truth. Her truth about the King of Cups over here. And then the Knight of Swords. And he could be holding his tongue, which is why his back is turned, because he's afraid if he turns toward her that he may say something he'll regret. And he doesn't want to, because he's the King of Cups upright. He's an unconditionally loving man. So let's see how this goes. So we have the Queen of Swords reversed and the Knight of Swords reversed, which also could represent kind of cut-through lawyers for these two here, the King of Cups and the 9 of Pentacles. And the central energy here, and it's about them coming together here. Now, is that a joyful coming together or not coming together? We'll see. The Star in the middle here for you. Sagittarius. Sagittarius. The Star. All right, so some kind of sneakiness going on here. Coming clean, getting clean, cleaning up the act, cleaning up the space. There could be a divorce here, and that's why there's sneakiness going on. But there's a lot of energy here, back and forth. This could be arrows of love. This could be in the spiritual community, right? Alternative, not the traditional religion, but this would be positive in an alternative sense. But perhaps coming clean about alternative belief systems. Or this is just a lot of back and forth going on here. With the angels, Sagittarius, Taurus reversed, Sagittarius upright. Someone who's being very patient here. That could be someone who is a patient here. Perhaps somebody's depressed or dealing with issues of depression. That could be their medical issue. But again, there could be a divorce. There could be a break in contract there. Someone's breaking away from their religious beliefs that they grew up with. And the challenge for you is the 6 of Wands. And there's the Wounded Warrior reversed, which is all about surrendering or giving up, depending on your perspective. And here he's very guarded, you know, guarding all those energies from over a long period of time. And here, finally letting them go, whether they're doing it in a positive way, in literally letting them go, to be present in the moment, or is he letting them go and feeling like he's giving up and being a failure? Perhaps he feels like he had no choice. With the King of Pentacles, coming full circle, there is completion here. Or perhaps he's checking her out. Literally, they look like they're checking each other out. And is this Sexy Sadie and Curious George? There's Pisces and Earth energy here. And the challenge is her getting attention here. He can't resist. He just can't. That's really cute. I actually know this situation here, exactly. The 2 of Cups could be these two people, but there's a lack of satisfaction here, or someone who doesn't like to be alone. This can be arrogance too, though. With the King of Swords, right? He's not being affectionate here. He's hanging out. Perhaps he dropped the ball. Perhaps he's on a break, you know, no longer juggling the daily grind right now. It is Sunday after all. Perhaps just hanging out, appreciating that he's not doing that, not wanting to give anything to anyone. He's just kind of like focused forward, being honest, but very forthright here. We could have Pisces and Capricorn here. It doesn't, the partnership, this could be breaking up the act right there too, of this partnership. And someone might be suffering in silence, can't sleep, crying, stressed out. But he's supposed to be very truthful and pure of mind and wisdom, you know, as the King of Swords. And that can reference military, can reference legal stuff. But there's some kind of dissatisfaction or arrogance about this King of Swords. And is he an Aquarius? He could be for sure. But hanging out, or does he feel hung out to dry? Or is he hanging someone else out to dry? But right now, just kind of dropping it all. And is he releasing it all here and just having a purge? Or is that someone else he's making feel badly over here? But there is a partnership there. We do have this innocence down here as well with the Queen of Wands. So the Five of Pentacles here, Sagittarius, and the Ten of Wands reversed with the Empress. So this is about, you know, this is the end of the cycle. Can't take it anymore. It's too much work finishing it or getting hurt before you finish, you know. Is this dumping a load, dumping your burdens, your responsibilities? Is this a confession or dumping everything on the Empress right here? Who may be sitting pretty. Maybe she's pregnant here. Or maybe she's just full of ideas here. But she's coming up on this Five of Pentacles here. And again, there's this energy after dumping responsibilities onto the Empress, or is she dumping all her stuff because she's pregnant and she can't do it? Or is that just the way she acts? Like she doesn't have to lift a finger and then the other person has to do everything. That kind of energy. I mean, are these two a couple? Is this a mother and son over here? And here might be a girlfriend, or coming full circle, completing this cycle of wands with the Empress. They're no longer bound to them here and now left out of the group. So someone might not miss the relationship, but they're missing the group around the relationship, perhaps the family that they're no longer going to be bound to, or the benefits that they would get from that. That could be coming up. You see yourself as the Ace of Pentacles. And there's Justice with the King of Wands and the Knight of Pentacles reversed. So this, you know, there's definitely legal stuff going on here, you know, and the King of Wands trying to express himself over here to the judge, but they both seem very calm right here, but this one's not. This one might be scared to say anything. Maybe the King of Wands is this one scared to say anything to the judge. We have Libra and Fire here, and this should be about some kind of groundbreaking event here. Is he being seen as someone who's lazy or disabled? Are we dealing with a disability here? Or is he dealing with disability or other people with disabilities or a disabled person or child? And then here is the Chariot, which is a bold move. Maybe someone was deemed to do something very ballsy here. Or perhaps it's a transportation issue. If someone is disabled, or is someone just lazy or unable to function because of something emotional. Did they get hurt? You know? So maybe they got hurt and they had to dump everything on the mother, the grandmother, the boss, whatever it is. And then we have this Ace of Pentacles, which should be a new start, a breakthrough to a new start. We have the Ace of Wands is reversed so far. And the truth is here, though, with the Ace of Swords. He may need a way to transport himself or somebody else. There might be an issue with driving there or traveling. This can just be bold movement too. After not being able to move at all of a sudden up and running. And then we have the Six of Swords. Six of Swords for peace. We have the Three. Okay, so the Three of Cups is coming up reversed here and starting over again. This is about social distancing, not wanting to socialize, dealing with gossips, third parties, people who drink all the time, bad influences, and starting over here. We have the Three Cups dumped here, and now there's Four Cups here. That can be like a misery loves company thing too. Or is someone starting over, or all three of them starting over together to make an effort? And will that work? I'm not sure. And then we have the Three of Wands being present. Is this a gift? To the Emperor reversed. And him, you know, standing his ground here, taking the high ground here to the group. Or does he feel like he has to defend himself to the group? Dealing with a third party starting over? Or a group starting over? Needing peace? Or is this travel, trying to coordinate something, but no one's on the same page? Being present in the moment with the King of, or the Emperor reverse, which can represent this person that the King of Wands has to take care of. So we have Libra and Cancer upright right there. And then the Emperor reversed, or Aries reversed. And we have the Empress right here too. So he could be, right, the Emperor got hurt, so everything got dumped on her as the Empress. And he feels the need to defend himself. He could be abusing his power too, right? He could, I don't know if he's being sneaky here. But he might feel like he needs to defend himself to the kids, or about a death. If this is a hospital, this could be someone, maybe there's a child that died in childbirth here. I hope that's not the case for anyone. If that is, I'm so sorry that you'd experienced that. But this can just be rejection too, and a big transformation here. This is the Dark Knight, just, you know, bulldozing their way through the priest, the kids. You know, you're not going to stand in my way. And is this a bully? Is this a Scorpio child? Or is this a Scorpio adult acting like a child, kind of bulldozing their way through? And this may be why the Emperor reverse has to stand up to the Page of Cups reversed. But are they like, is this a father and child, or father and grandfather, or grandchild who are very much alike? And now the grandfather has to start standing up to the child because now they're being spoiled or taking advantage of the situation. This also could, the Page of Cups reverse can also be the Emperor's inner child, feeling vulnerable and hurt or rejected. And then, and again, there's this peace or need for peace here, it looks like. And then the shadow, which is the block for you. And here we have destiny and sharing, settling out here. So why is this a block for you? And is this a Capricorn? We have Libra and again, sharing, settling out, destined to school the goose. And again, there's this energy that always comes up with this kind of combination of the one who's in charge and in control, or who has the knowledge to do the job, or whatever the situation is for you, always having to school the kids or the people at the job who don't pull their weight, or rely on them to know everything, rely on them to do everything, or being the only one who knows how to do all that stuff. So you never really get a break from that position. Always feeling like you have to check up on everyone else to make sure they're doing what they're supposed to do. So there is that energy here. The challenge of being the star, the leader of the group, and the shadow around that, right? What happens under the radar when you're not looking? The codependencies, the addictions, are people drinking, are people leaving early, you know, that kind of stuff. And then here's the 10 Pentacles. 10 of Pentacles for Sagittarius. And the Fool reversed with the Queen of Cups upright. She's keeping to herself, perhaps trying to keep her energy clear. Regarding the Queen of Pentacles reversed, there's two feminine energies here. Somebody might have fallen from grace in her eyes here, or maybe someone threw themselves at the Queen of Cups. Or did they feel like they fell from grace in her eyes, so now she's keeping to herself, and this could be the Queen of Pentacles here reversed. You know, and that can be within the family, right? The family, like this also could be a religious family where like you're done to me, and Sagittarius is very about religion. So it could be a family who's religious who refuses to accept the way their child is, right? Being alternative here, the Star. And then here we have the Five of Wands reversed. And is this a losing battle with the family? The Ten of Pentacles, and there's the Star. And again, the Star, the one the family relies on. So maybe they're all dependent on the Star's income, and they don't lift a finger to help. You know, there's that kind of situation too, where they're kind of stuck in this position of, if I leave, then everybody's screwed. But isn't that their responsibility to take care of themselves, right? So there's this lack of balance here. And then we have the Page of Swords, speaking their truth, which can be an Aquarius here, or the Star. And there's definitely some sadness here. But it's not, this is not reversed. So there is a partnership here, a pairing, or just the two soulmates, friends, children who see eye to eye here. And this is the Two of Cups in this card that they're not looking at unless that card was reversed. Do we have the Five of Cups out here already? We have the Four of Cups reversed. And we have the Four of Pentacles reversed here too. And this is the energy of, here's like keeping to themselves, keeping their cards close to their chest. Perhaps someone who's called cheap, right? Because they never let go of anything. Or there's someone hoarding. But this is letting go of all of that. Perhaps, you know, putting out a little bit of money, time, or effort into fixing something or making amends with someone, laying all their cards on the table, right? Connecting here, connecting the dots I was just getting. And here's the Ace of Pentacles, which is reversed. So someone saving, this is like we're not quite at that new life yet, or that new big offer of time, money, and energy here. Saving, holding back, playing hardball, or trying to learn how to magnetize it to you instead of having to make the effort. And there's the Page of Wands reversed. So there's two children here too, the Page of Swords and the Page of Wands reversed. Yeah, so I pulled a few extra cards at the end. So again, a lot of fire energy here, mostly Leo and Sag in the underlying energies, and then just Aquarius and Capricorn here. We don't have, the Ten of Cups is out here upright over there. So the emotional family looks to be in a positive place. We have the Nine of Swords. Right, there's that energy of suffering and silence here. Hiding in the woods, hiding your face underground, not wanting to be seen. If you're famous and something happens or you fall from grace, you know, it's that energy of not wanting to be seen. And then we have the Four of Swords. Is this someone at the beach, literally? Because we have the beach kind of energy over here too. Or somebody awakening? Is somebody not sleeping well and not wanting to show their face, right? So if you're famous and you haven't slept well, you know, they always put their sunglasses on, or they don't want to be seen. That could be coming up as well. Four of Swords, are you out there? I want to say, anybody out there? I don't know if someone's like out in the wilderness and yelling to see if someone's just for fun, or to see if someone's actually there to help them. We have the Four of Cups reversed here. So one to start over again, perhaps after taking a rest or a break. And then there's the Two of Wands, a choice of path or having no options here, all right, because reversed right here. And today is that Two of Wands energy. And then the Knight of Wands, which is reversed. All right, so that's the energy of the player, because he's reversed. If he were upright, he's learned how to balance his energies and not be too passionate, right? But here he's reversed. So feeling like they have no options but to be the player, or to feel paralyzed by their passions and not be able to do anything. Maybe they got hurt and they can't literally function in a physical, passionate way. The Nine of Swords. All right, some kind of deception here regarding hiding underground or being up all night with issues at work, or not coming together to be able to co-create here, or needing to get up at 4 o'clock in the morning. For the Ten of Pentacles, family, business, or community here. This could be a parent company too, where this site isn't doing well. This could also be the family, like they're all like reaping the rewards of the spoils, but here's somebody else taking care of all the responsibility and dealing with the issues and deception at work. But both families are upright. And then here is the Knight of Cups. All right, someone's not sleeping and rising above, or awakening, coming out, feeling numb, like literally levitating off the bed. And that could be how they feel, because the Knight of Cups comes in here to a silent partner, to the High Priestess, psychic, someone, you know, offering a little love, or a friendly stop by to see if they're awake, right? They want to have a drink, or they want to do a card reading here. Is this a sister? Is it an aide or a nun, or the secret keeper, the accountant? Right? And we do have the Four of Swords card right there. So perhaps coming back from the beach, or coming back from being on break. And then the Four of Cups reversed there is the Five of Cups reversed. So this Five of Cups is reversed. So this is someone getting over whatever loss there was or regret. And here's that Ten of Pentacles family over it, allowing these people back in, allowing this person back in, right? Or again, this is, you know, both of these together, you know, this is grief and suffering of others out in the cold, being left behind, injured, ill, and the sadness around this. And this is recovering from all of that. So recovering from all that stuff, you know, perhaps doing a lot of inner work, and then wanting to start over. But there may not be any invitation, or someone might need help getting something off the ground. But under the radar, somebody might be feeling like a failure, right? They fell off the horse and they couldn't get back on. This is coming up reversed. So the challenge is failing in front of the world. And the challenge is the shadow, and being online and being a star and all that kind of stuff. So someone feeling, this can just be a child too, in need of attention, and not feeling like they have any choice but to be paralyzed by their passions. And we have the Six of Cups right there. So there's some kind of innocent love here. And perhaps the Hermit is giving advice or shedding light here. This could be any kind of advice. It could be a grandparent. It could be a Virgo. But some giving or just shedding light on this beautiful situation, but that's stuck right now. Perhaps triggering people, overwhelmed, right? Dumping on another person. Again, bullying came up in your read, so that's coming up as well. And then the Tower reversed, which is resistance to sudden change, but also drama. And we have Virgo upright, Scorpio reversed, and Sagittarius energies with that Knight of Wands, although it could be any fire sign kind of energy there. But is this the player? And why is the player, right? So there's this energy of them feeling like they had no choice, to be let back in for survival even, right? Being the little one on the block where everyone else has so much money, or they're just abundant in themselves. And then here we have the Ten of Swords, which is ending this cycle of painful thoughts, a painful ending, or a pain in the ass perhaps, or is somebody getting a massage or some kind of alternative treatment here. There's a need for peace here, right? Both of these are reversed, and so is this. So we need all this, but the Six of Cups is upright. The innocence of the connection is there, and the Queen of Wands is looking at what's not working for her. King of Cups is holding his tongue. And the Queen of Swords may be grieving over here or bitching. All right, so there's no peace here though, right? That's still reversed. And it doesn't look like it got resolved here, except there could be somebody being present or getting back to make it better again. And then maybe there'll be some peace. Or a gift here. Not, and again, this is in hindsight looking back at something that might have at the time not been a good thing, especially emotionally here. But looking back and seeing that it was a gift to have gone through that, because you wouldn't be where you are today if you hadn't gone through that. And here we have the detoxing in order to be strong. Maybe someone went through rehab. Being strong, even without the tools, or knowing that you might feel insecure at times, but learning how to manage that. It's like learning tools, emotional tools, to deal with how you might react in certain situations. And then there's this release of anxieties, of thoughts of someone getting out of prison, literally, and then assessing the worth of the situation, or just reaping the rewards of your efforts, as opposed to just the Ten of Pentacles getting to reap those rewards. Getting a vacation, just time in the sun or with the kids, perhaps time to separate or expose heartbreak, or exposing, and even dealing with the storm, right? It all comes with it. It's kind of the energy that's coming up. So let's see what Messages of Love has for you. I'm getting the courtship of Eddie's father. And that song, My Best Friend, that posted this week too. Whether you're talking friend to friend, whether you're talking son to son. So I don't know if this is a father and son issue. Definitely could be. All right, we have a Judge and the King of Wands here, or the King of Wands and the Knight of Pentacles there, with Libra and Cancer right there on Sagittarius. They may be involved. Okay, and the message for Sagittarius, Messages of Love. Acceptance. Everything happens for a reason. And friendship. I just said that. So friendships and betrayals. This friendship is leading to more, though. And I just want to point out that the Two of Cups and the Ten of Pentacles are both upright. So that's very positive energy, and someone's healing here. So that's good, too. But there's still this energy of the player around, or someone who has an addiction, who's not quite back up on their feet yet, or paralyzed by their passions and hiding from a love, perhaps. Someone feels remorse for the way they treated you. Okay, so this has to do with friendship here. A friendship is leading to more. Someone feels remorse for the way they treated you. And play hard. It's time to laugh, goof off, and enjoy each other. And unplug. Working less will help strengthen your relationship. The bottom of the deck is warning. Don't dismiss the red flags here. It may not be time to, go full force forward. But again, there's an apology. You can expect the apology that you want to hear. And that came up twice. So there's definitely something about that. Don't dismiss the red flags. You can forgive, but that doesn't mean this addictive person's not going to do the same thing again. So again, just don't dismiss the red flags. I am going to pull from Journey of Luck, because I did that for the other cards. You guys are my last sign for the month. We'll see how that goes. I haven't had a whole lot of people watching, so I don't know how much longer I'll continue, because if no one watches it, I don't know if it's going to be worth my effort anymore, because it's just, you know, some of my signs is only, like I had for Capricorn, you know, 5,000 people tuned in. And then the other 11 signs, there's like, you know, 5 or 10 views, which seems kind of impossible to me. So I don't know what the algorithm is trying to do to me, but they have been kind of hovering over me. So as far as taking a couple of my videos down and things like that. So let's see what happens. I still have my Twin Flame channel. Twin Flames 3344 is my Twin Flame channel. And then just Evelyn Stainthorpe is this general channel for those who may not want to tune in to Twin Flame specifically. Okay, and so for Journey of Love. All right, we have the bride offers herself, 43. And that's the 3 of Cups, which was reversed right there. I'm going to read you that one. And we also have the 26 of the Page of Wands and the Guardian of the Soul family, which could be a new child or just inspiration there to come together, to find happiness. And then here's the 68, because this could be drinkers too. And again, there could be addiction issues over here. The 68 is the Page of Pentacles and dropping into your heart. And that's another child energy, the Page of Pentacles and the Page of Wands here. And the need for them to come together in joy, right? Or to heal something together. And the bottom of the deck here is Sacred Convergence in 28, which again is today's date. It adds up to 28, which is the 2 of Wands, which is Twin Flames. But the Twin Flame energy relates to everyone. It's really that quantum energy of seeing both sides of duality and collapsing them to the middle by accepting both. And the underlying energy here has the 24 behind it and the spaces between the words, which also came up here. But there is a sacred convergence, and this always reminds me of like the 9/11 memorial here, where then an etheric stage pops up and the Pleiadians project themselves in. So there's an interesting energy around New York right now, and the Statue of Liberty and Ellis Island too coming up. So we're going to read 43. The bride offers herself with Guardian of the Soul family and dropping into your heart with the Page of Wands and the Page of Pentacles. And 43. And 43 says, there's a sacred offering taking place, an offering of the divine feminine. She is offering herself to the mystery unfolding. This may manifest in a physical way in that women of great feminine wisdom is offering herself to you in friendship, love, and spiritual companionship or service in some way. This may manifest in a spiritual gift from the Divine Mother in a form of a life circumstance or situation, whether it's immediately recognized as a gift or not. To accept this offering as a bridegroom accepting his bride with love, reverence, and respect will bring good fortune. This oracle offers you a message. Accept what's being offered now. Whether through challenge or an easing of the way forward, there is a gift of grace from the divine feminine reaching for you now. Allow her in and be blessed. This oracle also heralds a time of importance in relationship. You have been revealing yourself and not being afraid of who and what you are, sharing yourself and willingness to connect. Your vulnerability and beauty is acknowledged and will attract the response you need at the perfect time and in the perfect way. Every bride shall have her bridegroom. And the poem reads, how careful we must be close, how fragile we must feel, how sad not to be when someone is real. To say approach with caution when we already know that inside there's a likeness and experience goes slow. So even if there's still some issues that need to be worked out, it doesn't mean you have to part. Just take it slow, right? And follow your guidance. It actually ends up really positive for you with the 10 of Pentacles and the 2 of Cups and getting over it. We have the energy of perhaps being stressed out, but then we have awakening to whatever's going on or your own awakening and wanting to start over without a choice with the Knight of Wands reversed, even if he's not fully recovered yet. All right. So I actually really like this for you. Like it's burning through all the deep crap in your life to get to the other side. And so remember your water, your rest, your joy, your nature. Be good to yourselves. And I will see you next time, Sagittarius. So rise and be loved. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe if you like the video. It would really help out the channel. I appreciate any help. Thanks, guys. Have an amazing month. I'll see you next time. Bye.